Textbooks usually point to Athens as the sole birthplace of collective governance, but looking at the stones of ancient India reveals a much broader story. Large-scale societies eventually hit a logistical ceiling. Managing thousands of people required a method of order and resource allocation that didn't depend on the personal whim of a single monarch. During the Mahajanapada period, starting around 600 BCE, massive states flourished across the Indian subcontinent. This era produced physical evidence of early, large-scale collective governance. The mechanics of rule by the people appeared organically in different parts of the globe, establishing a rooted tradition that predates modern Western nations by millennia. One of the clearest examples is found in the East, within the VII Confederacy. Here, the Lichavi clan built an entirely different political structure. They operated a Gana Sangha, or a people's union. Instead of inheriting power through royal bloodlines, their leaders were selected based on merit and capability. Representatives from various clans within the territory convened in regular assemblies. They debated state matters, negotiated trade, and drafted rules through collective consensus. By requiring leaders to answer to these councils, these republics codified a limit on absolute power, ensuring that the direction of the state remained a collective decision. Centuries later, this concept evolved into highly organized local administration. By the 10th century CE, the Chola Empire in Tamil Nadu had standardized democratic mechanics at the village level. We know exactly how they did it because they carved the rules into the walls of the Vaikunta Perumal temple in Uttaramerur. These inscriptions outline a sophisticated electoral system. Citizens used sealed ballot boxes to vote, and candidates had to meet specific criteria regarding their education, property, and moral standing to even be considered. The rules also included a direct accountability mechanism. If an elected representative was found guilty of corruption or financial mismanagement, they were immediately dismissed from the assembly. These records show that ancient Indian communities didn't just value the idea of participation. They engineered strict, enforceable systems to actively check their leaders. Today, those local assemblies have scaled into massive parliamentary democracies, where millions of citizens elect representatives to legislate on their behalf. Modern democracies almost never collapse overnight from an external invading army. Instead, they slowly erode from the inside out. When power concentrates and one branch bypasses checks and balances, the structure weakens. Without independent media, voters cannot see this imbalance or hold representatives accountable. If wealthy groups use corruption to gain influence, the republic slides into an oligarchy. These modern pressures effectively neutralize the accountability safeguards that were centuries in the making. Democracy is an ongoing, active practice. It requires daily maintenance, not a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Modern states rely on an independent judiciary to act as a final safeguard, interpreting the law and striking down actions that violate a citizen's rights. But courts and constitutions are only as strong as the people behind them. The system depends on citizens who participate in the process and demand accountability at the ballot box. Maintaining this legacy requires individual effort, staying informed, identifying misinformation, and recognizing the early signs of institutional decay. The survival of a system that began in the assemblies of ancient India now rests on the constant vigilance of its people.